beautifuls. Today we are going to do a really quick Friday focus, and then I need to get ready to do a bunch of projects here over the weekend. So stay tuned for a homestead update. I hope to have one of those out on Monday as well as our normal live streams. Just as a reminder, no posts on the weekend. We take that for ourselves in the hubs because that's the only time I get with him. So we are going to dive back into this deep, dark, dangerous oracle because we are still diving through some shadow work. And honestly, I am in love with this shadow deck. It is great. So let's see what we are going to be working with this weekend. There is a lot of other stuff going on too. Well, not a lot of other stuff. We do have, oh my goodness, we have a jumper already. I'm going to get 3 of those today. We have a full moon in Scorpio actually at 111. Oh my goodness. I have one in my hand and one that popped out as well. There's our 3. Full moon in Scorpio on Sunday, I believe. Or I apologize. It is actually on Monday morning, I believe. And so we do have a little bit of that energy going on as well as far as the Scorpio full moon coming up. We are within that 3-day either side window. Hey, Tay. So we're going to dive into a little bit of this shadow. And remember, the idea of shadow work isn't necessarily to eradicate it, but just to acknowledge it. If you can acknowledge these things inside of yourself, a lot of times they'll be much more quiet, and they won't keep making you bark at everyone. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see what this gorgeous deck has to say today. We are working with the Apu. So we get the fear card. This is definitely something that we are moving away from, right? Fear has no place in this realm because it is false evidence appearing real. Yes. And what do we get? But the shadow card comes out with it. Oh, shit, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Aha! We get the Minotaur. This is also the 17. So our number code for today is 12117. So we have a lot of 1 energy today, and they're all in the first position, which is telling me that we are definitely moving into this new identity that we are ready to encompass in this next new chapter. Let's read the Minotaur because this is probably one of the most provocatively awesome cards I've ever seen. Halloween costume ideas, anyone? Ooh. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, where's my book? There it is. All right, so 17, the Minotaur. Also one of my favorite bits of folklore. So I'm interested to see how deep she gets into this. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is really long, but that's okay. We have nothing but time, right? All right, I'm going to let you look at this gorgeous picture while I tell the story. So the Minotaur is about our compassion. So we are extending compassion to others and ourselves. Pity is not compassion. So be aware that you may be being scapegoated or that you are scapegoating others. So take responsibility for your actions and then look deeper before making decisions about others. Seek your shadow. What is rearing its head? What do you not want to look at? All right, this is about duality, compassion versus ostracism, betrayal versus allegiance, all right? So when we think of the great bull of Crete, we often think about the frightening, violent creature in the labyrinth and the hero needing to overcome it. Yet the shadow in this story is not the creature, but those around him. Minos is one of 3 brothers vying for the throne of ancient Crete. Crete at the time was one of the most powerful centers of influence in the known world. Minos argues that the kingship should go to him. The kingship should go to him because of his uniquely good relationship with the gods. He states that all he needs to do is ask the gods for something and it will happen. To prove this, he performs a ritual and prays to the sea god Poseidon, asking that a bull come from the ocean. He promises that this bull will be sacrificed back to the gods as thanks. Amazingly, a bull walks out of the ocean, a magnificent white bull, perfect in form, dazzling everyone on the beach. Minos is given the kingship and becomes ruler. However, it is here he makes his first mistake. Minos thinks the bull so beautiful that he decides to keep it for himself and sacrifice a lesser bull to Poseidon. And everyone knows that an animal marked for sacrifice to a deity isn't to be kept for oneself, as this is hugely insulting to the gods. Poseidon is no exception and punishes Minos by making his faithful wife, Pasiphae, fall in love with the bull. Pasiphae mates with the bull and births a baby she loves, yet it has the head of a bull. There is outrage in the kingdom, and the child, the Minotaur, is eventually placed in a specially constructed maze below the palace. He lives there, lonely for the most part, but is visited by his sister, Ariadne, and mother, occasionally, until his father yet again changes things. Minos' other son, Androgeos, is killed in Athens. In his revenge, Crete attacks Athens and wins, imposing a penalty. This penalty is that every 9 years, some say every year, Athens must supply 7 young men and 7 young women to be given as sacrifices to the Minotaur. A boat with black sails is dispatched to carry these young people to their deaths. This goes on for 3 sacrifice cycles until the Athenian hero and son of Aegis, the king Theseus, decides to kill the Minotaur and stop the sacrifices. Theseus tells his father that if he is successful, he will fly a sail of white instead of black. Theseus meets Ariadne and they fall in love. She agrees to help him make his way in and out of the complex labyrinth to kill the Minotaur. She shows him how to leave a trail by unraveling a ball of wool behind him as he goes. Theseus meets the Minotaur and kills him and frees the other prisoners. He sails back to Athens in triumph with Ariadne and her sister, but forgets to raise the white sail. King Aegis, on the lookout for his son's ship returning, sees the all-black sails and presumes his son is now dead. He commits suicide by throwing himself off the cliff into the ocean. Another death added to this sorry tale. It is worth remembering the Minotaur did nothing wrong and was not inherently evil. He was the product of family trauma and the scapegoat of the bad behavior of others. What if he had not been disowned and shunned? What if his uniqueness was an asset and not used as something monstrous? What if he had been shown compassion and not disdain? Literally, the Minotaur was the embodiment of the dark part of the family, or a person's own consciousness that lives hidden and that no one really wants to see. So, the question we're being asked today is, what are we fear being seen? What shadow is it that we're hiding behind? What are we demonizing in our life that maybe, just maybe, might be a product of our environment? And in some way, by facing this, we can shed light on it and turn it into something a little bit more. Maybe. Let's get Affirmator's Hero card to get our affirmation for today. I love this deck. I haven't pulled it out in a bit, so I do forget, however, how gigantic it is. All right. What do you have to add, Affirmators? Although I think those cards are pretty self-explanatory as we're heading into this weekend and this full moon in Scorpio, which is all about confronting our shadows and transforming them into something that we can hug instead of hide. And we get the Five of Cups, right? Stop focusing on the spilled milk. And instead, embrace this Ace of Swords moment. Okay? Let's get the affirmations for those. So, the Ace of Swords always pops out when there's a big truth. And I think the big truth for us right now is the realization that the thing that we have feared the most is really the thing that we should have left behind first. And instead, we've worked on everything else but that one thing. Oh, and I feel it right here in my heart chakra too. That one thing. So whatever that one thing is for you, I know what it is for me. This is your moment to turn it from thing that maybe it just looks like into the wisdom that it actually is. All right. The Five of Cups and the Ace of Swords. We'll do the Five of Cups first. Five of Cups says, I look forward to the good stuff and won't sweat the bad stuff. I know everything will even out in the end because karma is a meticulous accountant. And boy, is she, right? In fact, we almost named the puppy Karma, but Penelope is what her name is, so. And the Ace of Swords reminds us that we see everything. We know more than ever. And we still don't understand cloud computing. And that's okay, right? Because it's not our job to know everything. It's our job to know what applies to us, our situation, our own personal growth, and how we can help those in our lives closest to us achieve their best and most beautiful selves as well. So thank you for joining me here. And in some way, joining my journey to become my most beautiful self while you are making your journey to become your most beautiful self as well. All right. Now that we're all gorgeous people, I love you beyond measure. I will see you all again on Monday for another live stream. It will be the live for everyone. So Monday there will be an extended for you, Tay, and for those of you who are paid, if you're watching this later on. So Monday we'll have 2 lives. So I'll do the regular one and then I'll do a private one afterwards, like I did the other day. And then, so we'll just make that our weekly check-in on Mondays, and then we'll do a deep dive extended into what it says for everybody else. All right, that's it. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday, and there may be a little video or something that pops out this weekend. If it ends up being too many emails that you're getting or things like that, let me know, and I can try to not send some out. I don't know how to do that, but I don't know. Just let me know. Bye. Be good. Be good at it. And I fucking love you.